and you told the young journalists, all of them that work for News Central, you told them that the problem of Nigeria is not Nigeria, it is politicians. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria decided that he wanted to make the National Assembly members happy by providing them brand new vehicles that cost a whopping sum. That is the dream of so many Nigerians, but they just could never touch. There is not one member of the National Assembly that rejected this vehicle, not even members of Labour Party in the National Assembly. What does that tell you about the quality and caliber of human beings that are called Nigerians that are in the National Assembly?
If you recall when I mentioned to the young ones, very energetic, hardworking young ones in this facility, I said that we are the problem. I didn't exclude myself. I said we, the politicians, are the problem. I didn't exclude myself. And I was discussing with somebody yesterday, and I said to him, I read philosophy. And in philosophy, there's a topic called syllogism. And it says that when you have over 75%, you can't generalize without committing fallacy of generalization. In Nigeria, 95% of the politicians are the same. So the 5% remaining is very negligible. What we are saying is, how do we get one that will say, okay, I've had somebody confront me and said, okay, Peter, you wasted energy and time and you saved money. And when you were leaving government, you left huge amount of money. So tell me, which price did you get from doing that? Every other person took money and they are enjoying themselves today. You said you don't want to take the pension given to you as governor. So what difference does it make? You would have had a house in Abuja, a house in Oka, government is maintaining you. So it is a general thing that we've all agreed. That's why I always say, this is a criminal entity, hijacked by criminals. The only way it can work is to dismantle it. But I know that if you have a leadership that can govern with determination, it can dismantle it. I have been a state governor, and I know what you mentioned with National Assembly is not the buying of the vehicle, but the impact on the society is far worse. Tell me how you can have the National Secretary of National University Commission recently say that Nigerian universities are in urgent need of PhD holders. I ask myself, who wants to be a PhD holder? If you become a PhD holder, you are employed as a graduate assistant level 2 or so in university. Your salary is 150,000 naira. Let me be generous and give you 200,000. That means in 1 year, you earn 2.4 million. Let's say it's 2.5 million. 2.5. If you decide as a PhD holder with 2.5 million naira annual salary to buy the car they've given to somebody whose only qualification is secondary school, it will take you 64 years.
So
why would anybody want to be a PhD holder?
The level of criminality amongst our politicians is a disincentive to people who want to study.
When we talk about corruption, the reason why, because this is corruption, the reason why it is bad for society is that corruption kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. I said every day, why will I work hard to create a business and suffer to grow the business when I can make more money from being a politician? So you don't see people struggling to build business. Corruption kills professionalism. Why am I going to work hard to MPhD, research to be a professor? Because what I told you now, for a professor is double the salary, 400,000 if he's paid. Why will I struggle to be a professor? In fact, if you're a professor, your salary, like I said, is 400,000 monthly, 4.8, so call it 5 million annually. For 4 years, without spending your money, you earn 20 million as a professor. 1 month's salary of National Assembly member is 21 million. Why do you want to be a professor? So corruption kills enterprise, kills professionalism.
So would you advise the president to do what he has done to the Supreme Court by increasing by 300% all university professors?
For me as president, we're going to dismantle this criminality. Everybody have to come at the same level, and we discuss the future of the country. And I say it is not that this is something that is verifiable. I was governor of a state. I was impeached within 6 months. You know that, of being a governor. And what was the problem? My own office as governor, there was a budget to renovate my office because it was burnt. The budget to renovate it was 298 million. I spent 42,300,000. That was my number one offense. Number two offense was that in my lodge, where I lived as governor, the entire budget, it was also burnt because they had a crisis before I came in. The budget to renovate the office was 486 million. I spent 81 million in doing everything. That was my second offense. The third offense was that I was saving money. Everybody knew. You can go to Suka and verify. When I became governor, no permanent secretary in Anambra State had a car. No judge had a car. And I said, no. I went to Pijo. It's still on record that I was about the highest number of Pijo ever bought by government. When I was governor, I went there and said, supply us 50 vehicles, 406. And in my first year, for 4 years, the vehicle I used as governor, it was 406. Permanent secretary, everybody was using the same car. 406 for the 4 years. In my first tenure, you can go, these are things that you can go and verify. And we shut down the office of First Lady. Because they had more money than some of my ministries. I said, hey, wait a minute. What is this? Nobody voted this woman. It's my wife. We love her. We live in the same house. But he didn't campaign. Nobody voted for her. He should have had her own convoy, even with ambulance and everything, creating additional confusion that was not supposed to exist. We shut it down.
Let me go back to the budget that was initially proposed as 27.5 trillion, while 28.7 trillion was passed by the National Assembly and signed by the president. Who do we blame for those situations where we are bleeding money for every questionable things while our debt continues to skyrocket and we're struggling with high fuel costs, high food costs, high inflation, and people are saying we're hungry? Where do we put the blame?
Squarely on the man who is in charge.
President Bola Tinubu.
Period. Nobody else. He is the man voted for. He is the man they declared winner.
Why did you say they declared him winner?
Well, he was declared the winner.
Okay.
Yes, that's honest. He is the one who is responsible. No other person. That's why I told you I was impeached. Because I was the man they elected. That's why I can abolish First Lady office, abolish everywhere, and determine that I'm going to change this place. And he can do that. Look at our debt rising irresponsibly. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. Borrowing for any government globally is accepted. People make reference to every other country today. I've compared so many countries with the issue of borrowing. Even country people cite, like Singapore. Singapore today owes over 100% of their GDP. But they have a clear law that all borrowed money must be for investment. Japan owes over 200% of their GDP in debt. But the money Japan borrowed, most of their debts, apart from being domestic, were used for the economy and the people of Japan. And today, the highest holder of US treasuries, up until maybe 2 years ago, I don't know what happened. China, every other person have huge debts. But you could see where those debts were invested in. Today, we are the number 3 highest debtor to World Bank. That happened within the past 1 year. We actually estimated that the way we are going will soon be number 1. highest debt of.
The projection is that we'll have more than 150 trillion.
A country without anything to show for it. A country like Bangladesh is within those 3 highest debtors of World Bank. But you could see the difference. It is very clear. In 2015, let me not go back for that. 2015, when this APC government started, our debts was a third of what it is today. We are now over $100 and something billion. We're now in a situation where we can't explain what happened, but just look at a country like Bangladesh. In 2015, they had huge debts with a GDP of 195 billion and per capita of about 1,300. Today, Bangladesh, as of 2023, is with a GDP of over $460 billion, with a per capita of over 2,500. Nigeria in 2005 had a GDP of over nearly 500 billion, with per capita of over 2,500. Today, our per capita is just about a little bit over 1,000.
Okay.
That is the crisis you face. And we have tripled our debts. That means the money we borrowed were all either swallowed by snakes, pythons, tortoise, monkey, all sorts of things. That's why we are now in this new song of where let people put the money, the elephants even follow that, ate the money, because the man goes to parties.
Okay.
So it's a crisis situation.
Okay, the go really got me.
Before you listen to that video, now you agree that 80%, not even 100% problem we have in this country is bad leadership. Leadership is our problem. Leave every other thing. When we have good leadership, every other thing will follow. We need law, leaderships that can be able to make law and execute the law. Forget anything. Now you listen to this video, let everything he said. Forget everything. When somebody will tell you that the problem is from the world bank, the world leaders, MARA, those people, they are the one controlling our leaders and politicians. No. If your politicians do not listen to them, give them reasons to control them, there will be a problem. So our politicians, which is the leadership, are the problem of this country. You know, understand? When you talk about law, when they talk about the issue of a vehicle in House of Assembly, in that house, talk about that vehicle. Why did the Labour Party candidate, why did they not reject the car? They accepted. That's where the leadership comes in. If the leadership said from the beginning that this house is not going to have this vehicle, then it will not. They will not have it because the leadership accepted. So that's where the leadership comes in, individual differences, right? So we agree. Forget about world leader, like I said, or marginalizations, all those things. Those things are not the problem. Leadership, our politicians are the problem. Now imagine Peter Obi, who choosing to do the right thing by not accepting this money or by saving money, committed 1 offense, 2 offenses, 3 offenses. By not giving few set of people more money to just waste for nothing in the name of contract. Right? He committed an offense. He left money at the office for another government to see money to work. It becomes a problem. He committed an offense. And now people are asking, why did you do that? Where is he gain now? Nothing to show up for it. Now, like he said, we don't need, go and check other leaders in the world, what their wives are doing, first lady are doing. No, it's only here in Nigeria. Now, Tinubu's wife, first lady, the money that goes through his ministry is even more than, at least to an extent, if not the same, with his with his husband. Now you see, throw 250 million away that day for event planning, to plan an event. 250 million he threw away. That's where the leadership comes in the problem. So if we could shut down the office of the first lady, what is the impact? What has he done in this administration? Rather than asking you to go and farm, that he's now a farmer, farming in Asoro. That's the other thing. What is he doing? That this money is going through his ministry to do what? Providing a security, escort, comfort, what have you. Leadership, the failure of leadership is our problem. Everything you could think of. Borrowing money is not a problem. What do you do with the money? Where have you invested the money? What area of infrastructure have you invested those money you are borrowing? You are just borrowing money you throw away for a few set of people. No. If you are doing business, you borrow money, you will put it into your business. to expand your business. You can't borrow money. If you borrow money to use and do burial, you can't gain it, hoping that they spray you money, you recover. You borrow money to do party, borrow money to eat, borrow money to, you are wasting your time. You borrow money for investment. That's a problem. So if we have leaders who are able to lay down these laws that people will follow, so who are you not to follow laws when government say you must do this? No, now just tell me. When government make pronouncement, especially now Tinubu in command, he said, who are you not to do it? Who are you not to obey? Because when you make the law, it doesn't go around. It gives some people opportunity to do and only punish the masses. The law does not affect everybody. Some people are above the law. That's the problem. So everything in this country is a failure of leadership. The day we have good leaders, the country will start turning around. Now we're talking about good leaders. And now, for you to produce that leaders, we need a political party, according to the Nigerian system of election, or even in the world. We need a political party to bring out that leaders. Now, APC don't shit for markets. PDP has their own crisis. Even Labour Party now, there are some issues in Labour Party. So who is that party to produce this leadership we are talking about to start with? It starts from there. Yeah, so now we agree the leaders are the problem. Who is going to produce or give us that leader to start putting things in the right place, to start making these laws? That's the problem. So what do you think? Please, today is your first time coming across this channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and subscribe now. Share the video, subscribe, hit the notification button after you subscribe. See where the subscribe day now. I'll be your guy runner for me. Subscribe, please.